Nokon pai kepengin pai pai pontegin make kepen ban nokon bewa kepen jom bewa bewa nichikin nokon bewa nishigin. Open the great circle, the sacred circle above us, the circle of bodhicitta, of empty awareness. Hey. Open the great circle, the sacred circle of our beloved hearts, that these hearts may be in communion with each other across the timelines and in all directions. I open the circle below us of Mahayoni, beloved Lingam, bowing to these beings, finding their way in their evolution, always dancing, to do the holy work of myself and of this circle. I'm so grateful to the Dakinis that I've come to know over the last so many years. I'm so grateful to this spiraling lineage of Dakini, awakened feminine energy. I call upon the Dakinis to be with us in this moment, in this communion. And as they come dancing and singing down the way, down the Dharma, finding us ready to walk our way, walk our Dharma, the Dakas come with them, and I call upon these beautiful Dakas. Oh, awakened masculine energies, come join us. Come sing with us. Bring your beautiful tools, your skillful means, your magnificent ways to help us through the obstacles that we find upon the way in front of us. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to the Dakinis. So grateful to the Dakas. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm so grateful for all that you've brought me. And to be in this moment again with you. I'm so grateful to all the beings that may come for this conversation that we are going to have now, or whatever may come. Perhaps this is even the ending of it. We come to meet you now for the next 21 days, to meet your holy works, to open to them, to drink from them, to be refreshed by them, to remember our true nature. I dedicate these works to the suffering of all beings, that this suffering may expand into the awakening fields, so that eventually we can leave the path of suffering behind us. I bow, my head below my heart. Namaste. So this is just a little note to welcome you to this this study, these holy works. We're going to look at the holy work of what needs to be seen in us to return to love, really, isn't it? And that includes all of our being, but what needs to be seen to return to love? And how can we do that in a way that is together, compassionate? The word to suffer in its origin it means to carry or to bear under. Soffrire. It means to bear under something. Compassion, calm means together. Passioni, to suffer together. So in a way, suffering transforms. Your very suffering transforms when you start to step into compassion, when you're willing to be together in this lila, in this great play, when we're willing to be together in it, it starts to transform. And to even just be in the simple honoring of the word compassion and recognizing, how difficult some moments can be for yourself, for myself. Like we've all been caught by things. We've all been lost in that which is shining, but maybe when we get close to it isn't true gold, And we've all got seduced by different things along the way. And shall get seduced again, away from our true nature, away from our heart, away from from our soul, I feel, like you'll forget again and again. And so the Dakinis and the Dakas, these beautiful beings, they come to remind us. They come to turn us back to ourselves. They want nothing more than that. It's not about either also becoming a Dakini or a Daka, it's not about that. Some people feel called to help in that way. Some people feel called to help in other ways. That's not what this conversation is about. But the Dakinis and Dakas, they want very much only, truly, for your awakening, for you to live your true self. Not your best self or your worst self, just your true self. And as one really beautiful woman once told me, Shanti Mahi, she said, the best way to align to your Kundalini energy, the most powerful method there is to be yourself. The more you are yourself, the more your own energies shimmer through you. Because while you're not being yourself, like if I'm afraid of what you think of me, right? And I can't really just be me. What does it mean? It means there's parts of myself I'm hiding away. I'm pushing into this sort of dungeon beneath. And I get upset there, then you feel angry and sad and you feel all kinds of things when you push parts of yourself away. Because you think for some reason they're not wanted or not acceptable by the other. And I also understand that. That was one of my worst sufferings, actually, for much of my life, to be honest. It was really like being concerned with the thoughts of others. What they may think of me, or how they may perceive me, if they will accept me or reject me or love me or not. I mean, it was such a trouble for me. Eventually, I actually had to turn to living by myself. Being alone for a while, to be with those wounds, that, if I felt a rejection, my whole being felt destroyed and it would take me down to the ground. I mean, that's not something to so easily live with. I had to find a way, so I had to learn in a way how to live in joy, without the other, so that when I return to the other, I can be myself. I can be truthful, because I will know that joy is there regardless of whether the other is there or not. It was a difficult practice I went into in and out for some years. It was a very challenging practice, but I had to do it. It reminds me of a guru that woke up in India. He said he had to go into the forests alone for 10 years to heal the wound so profoundly that when he came out, The human beings who love nothing more than to jump on those wounds, to find your triggers, they couldn't find them anymore because they were gone. And only then could you live amongst people. A bit like that, you know. It's like, yeah. So that, you know, that can be like a profound wound, being concerned what others think of you, and that can stop you from being who you truly are. Just that, just that. And I say just that, but I've just told you what just that was for me. And I wonder what it is for you. What stops you? What stops you? It's just from being who you are. What do you think you have to be? What do you think you have to obtain? What do you think, you know, like you need to be on this planet to be loved? And then to turn to that thing, you know, like, I need others to like me, or I need to be loved. I will do whatever to be loved. Turn to that part of yourself and love that. You know, give that compassion. Give that compassion. It's okay. It's okay. We can be so hard on ourselves sometimes. You know, just whatever's arising. The first stop is compassion. Oh, you. Oh, hello. You know, we suffer together. We suffer together. Compassion. I see you. I see you struggling. I turn to that, to myself, with compassion. And just in that moment, just even if you can just do that, there's already a softening that happens, a gentleness. Oh, you want to be so perfect all the time. Bugger that. It's not going to happen. What does it look like? You must, you know, how do you pull that one off? Why do you need to be that? Why is that? Why? Why do you need to be that, or to be loved, you know? So what do you need to be loved? What do you need to be loved? What do you think you need to be loved? And what aspects of your being are not allowed to live? What's not allowed to live? Like just recently I discovered in myself there was an aspect from my childhood that wasn't allowed to live. And it was simply that when I love someone, I'm not already allowed to dislike them. And so what I had done was I had pushed dislike out of my moment-to-moment experience, which means I can be quite indecisive sometimes because I can't feel what I dislike. So how do you choose? You know, like, should you choose this or that? Well, I kind of like them both. Or maybe if I own my dislike, I'll find out I don't really like the one as much as I like the other. But I couldn't do that because my dislike wasn't in. Or a dislike can also be like a survival aspect of your being. So if you look at evolution, human beings would sometimes their life would simply be saved because they didn't like the way something smelt, or they didn't something they disliked about this piece of this plant, and so they didn't eat it, and actually it was poisonous for them. So dislike is quite helpful in that way. And then sometimes if you're in a communion or a conversation or engagement with someone, and you find there's something in the moment you're not liking, that's wonderful, because if you don't like it, you can actually say, I don't like this. You can leave. You can, you know, change the subject. You can do things to. It's a protective thing to know you don't like something. It can reveal something in the moment that if you ignore, you might land up in a situation that's not so lovely, you know. So I found out I pushed dislike away if I love someone. But then that leads to all kinds of trouble if I don't honor what I dislike about a person or a moment or a conversation. It doesn't mean you don't love them. Love it's here, but that dislike gives information that's helpful in engaging a moment with a person. So, yeah, what do you push away to be loved or liked? What do you push away? Have a look. What do you push of yourself away? How do you separate yourself from yourself? Yeah. Yeah, just like you to look at that. feel that a little. Like even my first video I made, if you watch it, I feel there's like, if I look at that, I like the video, but there's a sense of, you know, when I talk about the golden seal on the teachings, that almost feels too much for me now, where we are standing together tonight, today. It's like, if you're here, if you found your way here, then there's certainly something here for you. Existence won't bring you here if you're not ready for this moment. You know, this is just some videos and so forth. It's not like deep, deep work. Maybe you'll have something of that come through, but then you're ready for it. You're ready for it. If you're here, you're ready for it. And I just want to acknowledge that. There is that. I was given some teachings about Dakinis recently, and they did that, used to hide their works and so forth. And I get that, and I'm with that. But I'm also now in a space where I'm trusting that if I'm being prompted to share this, and you being prompted to be here and listening, then you're ready, and I'm ready, and the work is ready to be shared. It's time. We're already in that time. We're in a time of quickening. So I trust that. So I'm going to just share what's on my heart and know that it will land where it needs to land. That's where I'm at right now with this conversation, with this sharing. Yeah. So you can see I'm looking. You know, I'm always still like curious about what of myself I'm, you know, not fully in. What of myself? Where in this body am I being? Where am I not in? Because this part, well, that part's not good enough. Hey, well, I don't know if you love that part. You might love this, but you're not going to love that. So I'm going to, you know, I'll talk to you like this. And yeah, so what if you turn that to you? You know, like you look into your existence. Look into yourself. What of yourself do you deny? What aspect of yourself do you feel is not going to be loved? Please have a look. Just look. And if you see it, like, you know, whatever, I need to be perfect all the time, whatever it is, you know, like I can never get angry or whatever. It just first meet it with love. Let that be your first stop. Let it be your first stop. Because I'm really longing here. I'm longing here to help this stream of love flow through our beings in a true fullness. I'm really longing for that. And in a way, it's not that it's not flowing through you or me. It's just that we have silly habits of pushing parts of ourselves away that are carrying that love. So I want us to find ways to stop doing that. It's not necessary anymore. But meet it with compassion, yourself and the other. Even sometimes we come with the most silly things and we look at each other and go, you're afraid of that? You don't want to, you don't want to leave the house. Come on, it's a beautiful day. But for some people, leaving the house is scary. They don't want to leave the house. Oh, well, okay. Just meet it. Just meet it. I can understand why that could happen to someone. Can you? Turning inward now into the inner landscape of your being inward. We're going to turn inward. Look inward. Look into you. Look inward. In. That's where you will find the answers of these questions. In. Turning around, away from the outside. It's a good mirror. It will help. But we won't find the answers there. We'll just find the mirror there. Anyway, let's not get too cryptic, hey? Thank you for listening. The prayer is open for this work. I may close it before and reopen it. If the energies get really strong and I'm struggling to be in them, I may close and reopen. For now, I'm opening the circle for us to step into the stream of awareness together. You can choose how much you want to engage, of course. It's always up to you. How much do you want to engage this moment, this journey? And let's see what comes. Namaste.